Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Toledo, first Sunday in December. It's a good one, and looks like we've got a nice little crowd here at church in person. This is our third week meeting together in person, indoors. We did some over the summer, and we welcome our families and friends that are watching remotely. And I have quite a bit of announcements this morning, so just relax, and I'm going to read to you some of them. We have been invited to a rally. It's called Shine the Light on Anti-Semitism, happening at 3:30 today at the YMCA, the JCC, the Jewish Community Center in Sylvania. That's at 6465 Sylvania Avenue, and you can see me later if you want to get that address again. It's organized by the Jewish Community Relations Council and the Jewish Federation of Greater Toledo. There will be some speakers, including Jewish community members and non-Jewish allies, including Marcy Captor, Representative Marcy Captor, and Sheena Barnes, Executive Director of Equality Toledo. The rally will include a public Hanukkah menorah candlelighting. Complimentary and delicious Hanukkah foods will be offered. A heated tent will be erected in case of inclement weather. So this event is being organized in response to an unfortunate significant increase in anti-Semitic violence, harassment and intimidation, and a corresponding rise in other forms of bigotry, intolerance, and hate across the Greater Toledo area and other areas of Ohio. The rally is sponsored by Congregation B'nai Israel, Congregation Etz Chaim, Temple, Shomer, Emunim, and the YMCA of Greater Toledo. You thought that was a lot. I've got another announcement. This one's even longer, but this is one that you may not have heard of, through the news, and it's not printed in your order of service, but it's super important. The Unitarian Universalist Association and its Article 2 Study Commission, or is that Article 11? Article 2. Study Commission, which is examining our 7 principles and the possibility of revising, expanding, and rewriting them, will sponsor a 2-day online webinar sponsored by the UUA's Congregational Life Staff Group. Compass will be hosted on the HOVA platform, available in desktop form or on your mobile device through an app, Google Store or the Apple Store. This is the same platform that was used for GA, the General Assembly. This will build on the earlier report the UUA Commission on Institutional Change published early last year called Widening the Circle of Concern, which called for deepening in relationship with all and a call to explore our shared theology as Unitarian Universalists. So Compass is navigating the paths to liberation together. It will take place this coming Saturday, from 1 to 9 and continuing on Sunday from noon to 4:30. So this coming weekend, go ahead and put that in your calendar. Their publicity says you're invited to reach into your spiritual toolkit and grab your compass, your wayfinder, that inner voice that points you toward goodness, and join us in charting a path toward a deeper knowing of Unitarian Universalism. Okay, the Saturday highlights are a centering worship, keynotes with 4 keynote voices with 4 different speakers, then UU voices respond, identity and affinity group sessions, a workshop on articulating a theology of independence, interdependence, Rising Appalachia concert. The Sunday highlights are a Sunday worship service, Article 2 Study Commission interactive presentation, and a weekend wrap-up. So, the registration fees are on a sliding scale from $25 to $60 based on your own assessment of your ability to pay. Those who pay at the highest level are making a donation/scholarship to help others that are in financial need for this event. Please remember that for a sliding scale to work, we need the same number of people with means to generously pay more to balance the needs of those who can afford less. But here's the good stuff. If you want to register but just can't afford it, contact Reverend Tim. The church can provide some funding if needed. that was that announcement. Thank you for hanging in there with us, and I hope you will all attend Compass.
How about the giving?
I've got that.
All right.
And more. The Giving Tree is our way that we take care of families in the greater Toledo area that might be suffering some type of, I hate to say neediness because we all need something, but they're underserved families that we are taking care of through the Sylvania Family Service. In the past, we have picked ornaments off of a tree that had specific children's wishes and their parents' wishes, wants, needs, all of the above. Because of the pandemic, for the last 2 years, rather than, say, buying a specific gift, Sylvania Family Service has asked us to purchase gift cards. And I'm one of the chairs for that committee, and we are collecting money to take care of, I can't remember, it's 3 or 4 families, but it's 15 people, children and adults, some single family, single parent families, and some dual parent families. But we're a little short. They are recommending between food gift cards and present gift cards that we spend around $75 per person, and we're about 300 short. Tomorrow is the deadline for us to wrap that up. We've been talking about it for the last, say, 3 weeks to a month. So if you find it in your heart that you would like to be a little extra giving, you can drop that with your regular Sunday donation in the gift basket where we're collecting the offering out front. People asked me last week, there's a basket that's going to be up here on the front table for offerings if you just care to run up front and drop in. The same basket is on the table in the foyer, the welcome table. So thank you so much for that. If you're new and visiting for one of the first couple of times yet, if you will look in the seat back of the pew in front of you and grab one of these yellow visitors cards, it's got lots of cool information on it, but we would love to have you fill out your contact info on it so we can keep you up to date through email about all the goings-on at church. And even if you're not new, go ahead and grab a look at that because there are some things to check off with your interest levels. If you have something to give of yourself being a time or talent that you would like to offer to the church, go ahead and fill that out while we're talking and drop that in the offering basket as well. I'm running out of steam. This is a lot of announcements. So this really pretty card that you will find in the seat back is brand new, and it depicts our beautiful handmade quilt. On the back is all of the points of contact, including the Zoom passwords if you're watching at home, and email address, phone numbers, Tim's cell phone number. Just kidding, that's not on there. But one change that we're making, if you'll see where it says office hours are Tuesdays and Wednesdays, that's going to be changing to Mondays and Wednesdays. And the cards will reflect that soon. Last announcement. Okay, next week, really big Sunday. Please come if you can, but if you can't, by all means, set your alarm to watch remotely, because next week is our all-music service, and we have an extra special treat. From the Toledo Symphony, Nancy Landrum and Cheryl Trace will be here, harp and violin. They're doing our whole service for us. Well, not Tim's part, but, and he's not doing their part either, but please come for that if you can. It's going to be super special, and so glad you're here today.
And we won't make the harpist sit on this high chair.
Oh, I get to talk more. I have the opening words today. No matter what they tell you, let it be about joy. Let it be about the sacred. Self-surviving, no, thriving. Shining its way to the knowledge within. Let it be about blooming, the unfolding of the universe through you. Because the story of you begins 15 billion years ago with that first flash of being.
And as we light our chalice, these words from David Breeden. Advent, adventus, means waiting. And the holiday season is nothing if not waiting. To get done the chores, to find the right gift, to find time for quiet moments, to accept that our loved ones will not be as we wish them to be. We will light the chalice this holiday season, this time of waiting, to remind ourselves to enjoy the moment, the now of our lives. Yes, much is coming and always we wait, but those things to come will also be now, when they come. Our first Sunday of Advent reminded us to be patient. This second Sunday of Advent, we light the flame and hope that darkness will be dispelled. In this holiday season, may the darkness of winter be dispelled in this festival of lights. And may the darkness of ignorance be dispelled in the strength of compassion, reason, and sharing. We light this flame as an end, as a beginning, as a symbol of the eternal. And if you would join me in reciting our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our opening hymn is number 1058 in the Teal hymnal, Be Ours a Religion, with words by Unitarian minister Theodore Parker.
What can we say about Rudolph?
He was excluded by other reindeer. They did not let him play with them. We may feel confident that they made fun of him and his red nose.
Is it possible that they hurt poor Rudolph? He was on the outside. The other reindeer had a special relationship with Santa Claus. They were the elite. Dancer, Dasher, Prancer, Comet, Blitzen. Fine names, sturdy names. Bespeaking solidarity, stability, education, training, ability, access to the very best. These reindeer were strong and fast.
Rudolph was smaller, and his only distinctive feature was a shiny red nose. It seemed to have a glow about it. It made the young Rudolph a figure of fun. See, Rudolph the red-nosed. Ha! I'd rather be dead than red in the nose, they say.
Still, he may have been content to be red-nosed by himself. He probably muttered more than once, I don't care. Let them have all the fun. I can have fun by myself.
Did Rudolph wish to be included? We don't know. Probably he did, for it is the deepest wish of all creatures to belong and be accepted.
So what happened?
On a foggy Christmas Eve, Santa realized Rudolph could make the difference in guiding the sleigh. Rudolph could lead them through. Rudolph's special trait was his ugly, shiny red nose. It was this nose, this trait, that was needed.
So Santa goes to little Rudolph and asks him to guide the sleigh, actually to lead it. He would be in front of the other reindeer because their mission of getting Christmas to the boys and girls of the world was so important, it became necessary to rethink past practices.
When Rudolph was asked, what did he say? We don't know, it's not recorded. We know, he did not say, I can't, I'm too little. He didn't say, me, the others always make fun of me. He didn't say, now you ask me, I've got something else to do. It isn't fair.
He didn't say spitefully, get somebody else. Let Dancer do it. He didn't say, I hope you crash, you and all the others.
So we have a classic story of the insiders excluding the newcomer and making fun of his special traits. It happens all of the time in schoolrooms, playing fields, classes, society.
We say they just don't have it. And if they do, well, we got here first. We don't have to let them in our group, our company, our church, our country club, our political party, our games.
He just did it. He led the slave through. He did the job. It was a hard job, but he did it. Then all the reindeer loved him.
So what does this little story, the bit of doggerel, mean? What's the moral?
Some possible means. Anybody can serve. We need everyone to be part of the team, even the ugliest, or what we label ugly, and smallest has a special contribution to make. The mission is more important than personalities.
There are perhaps others. Can you think of some? Remember them when you hear the song.
Our centering music today is For Elena by Arvo Pärt, Estonian composer. I just wanted to let you know before we listen, this is in a style that's modeled over bells. It was written in 1976. It echoes Beethoven's piece for solo piano Fiorelise. It was actually written for a family friend. Alina was the 18-year-old daughter, and so it was really for her mother when she left to go to England. I invite you to meditate on this extra space, the extra resonance within yourself, what you might be missing, and also the images of the vivid youth off to explore the world.
also have joy from people as well. We have concerns of health, of finance, of what to do about Christmas and gifts. With that and much more on our minds, this is Advent by David Overton. During the Advent season, we celebrate the qualities of faith, hope, love, and joy. Yet these must be viewed through the prism of paradox. No faith is worthy without the capacity to doubt all things, for then it is only credulity. No hope is possible without the specter of defeat in the wings, for then it is only dreaming. No love is strong without the dread of loss in the heart, for then it is only passion. No joy is complete without the certainty of sorrow in the future, for then it is only frivolity. Thus, it is wrong to mislead people with simplistic notions, for they distract us from the fullness of life. After all, the seas have storms, the clouds have lightning, and the roses have thorns forever. Let's observe 1 minute of silence.
The reading this morning is called Christmas is Subversive, written by Kendall R. Gibbons. One of the great things about Christmas is that it's a sturdy holiday. Christmas doesn't wimp out when times are hard. It comes anyway. Even if there are hardly any presents, even when there isn't much food to make a feast with, even when you're sad, even if the world around you is at war, even if you're living in fear and danger and oppression, Christmas still comes. And when it comes, Christmas is subversive. Christmas, with its story of an unwed mother and a doubtful father, with its legend of a helpless baby born in a stable, who was worshipped by some of the wisest, richest men in the world, with its tale of the child pursued by the deadly wrath of kings, who escaped as a refugee to a foreign land far from home. Christmas, with its ancient, enduring summons of peace on earth, goodwill to all people, everywhere. You can't stop a day like that with a little hardship or greed or injustice. It will show up anyway, lighting the midnight star into the darkest places of our collective lives. Do not underestimate the power of the manger and the hope that it holds. The Christmas song of the angels is not as innocent as it sounds. It has turned the world upside down before now. It still can.
Happy holidays. I start today with Festivus, a made-up holiday that's observed on December 23rd. Here's a quotation from someone who knows all about Festivus. It features a bare aluminum pole in the place of honor many families reserve for a tinsel-draped Christmas tree, an airing of grievances in which friends, family, and acquaintances accuse one another of being a disappointment, and feats of strength, requiring that the holiday not end until the head of the household is wrestled to the floor and pinned. That quotation is from the 2005 book, Festivus, The Holiday for the Rest of Us, by Alan Salkin, who wanted to report on how the holiday came into some real-world celebration. Wikipedia, which, as you know, is my favorite reference source, says, Festivus was conceived by author and editor Daniel O'Keefe, the father of TV writer Dan O'Keefe, and was celebrated by his family as early as 1966. While the Latin word festivus means excellent, jovial, lively, and derives from festus, meaning joyous, holiday, feast day, Festivus in this sense was coined by the elder O'Keefe. According to him, the name just popped into my head. TV writer Dan O'Keefe included Festivus in an episode from the TV show Seinfeld, and it has grown from there. Millions of people loved it, or at least snickered at the holiday with dark pleasure, Alan Salkin wrote. Something about the holiday's anti-cheer was delivering an antidote to the tinsely hee-hee tyranny of forced joviality that rules the modern holidays. Festivus felt right, Salkin wrote. Now about grievances. Salkin's book says, eventually, most Festivus nights veer straight into the meat of the matter, the moment that never seems to come at proper social occasions. People telling others what they really think about them. This is the airing of grievances. The core of it remains lashing into others and the world about how they have been disappointments. This usually brings participants into a circle of sorts in which each takes turns excoriating friends, enemies, relatives, acquaintances, and strangers. When all who care to have taken a turn griping, there is no required hugging or making up. And if you're tempted to try an airing of grievances, I want to call attention to our first principle in Unitarian Universalism, covenanting to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of everyone. We won't be having a public airing of grievances in today's service or here on December 23rd,
But if there is something you need to get off your chest, please speak directly and appropriately to me or whoever the person is involved. We definitely know that Festivus is an invented holiday. We have the full story. But could it catch on in a larger way, thanks to millions of Seinfeld viewers and a few generations of time? We all want special days, for many reasons, including fun, remembrance of a special occasion for a few or for all, and even for commerce. As Unitarian minister John Haynes Holmes said, probably about 100 years ago, the Christmas season has come to mean the period when the public plays Santa Claus to the merchants. Wanting and instituting your own holidays are different, though, especially in a season packed with religious holidays and some big secular ones like New Year's. Why squeeze in another holiday? Humanists have invented one. Though I am a Unitarian Universalist with a humanist perspective, I haven't celebrated this holiday, which, like Festivus, is a December 23rd occasion. But people are flexible with the dates, and even the American Humanist Association is part of a December 18th celebration this year. Created and developed by leaders of the New Jersey Humanist Network in 2001, making it now 20, and recognized by the American Humanist Association in 2004, the holiday Human Light is a way to promote reason, compassion, humanity, and hope, according to an article in The Humanist, the American Humanist Association magazine. The name itself, Human Light, the article says, was chosen to indicate that it's about humanity, not any supernatural beings. Light indicates the light of human reason as the proverbial candle in the dark. It's not a structured ceremony, and there aren't actual rules for how to do human light. But the article said the organizers want there to be some component that serves in some way to celebrate and express humanist-oriented values and ideas in a positive manner. That human light should not be used for negative criticism toward religion, and that the approach toward celebration should be positive, festive. I don't like inventing a holiday to put right at Christmas equinox time, where there are so many others, and there is a secular aspect to Christmas that goes beyond Christianity and is for all, or nearly all. But I also understand that some who aren't religious want an independent way in this season, and the science of solstice doesn't speak to them like the mysticism of solstice speaks to pagans. There's something about getting into winter and end-of-year timing that makes us all want to give ritual in our lives. We can look to others, be joyful about what they celebrate, and be grateful to be included. We don't have to make our own parties instead. But some will want to throw their own parties, give presents just for the gifting and not for a larger reason. And maybe gripe a little bit too, but maybe rather than the Festivus way, go human light and be positive in the criticism. Or maybe pick up on some Unitarian Universalist attempts that I don't think we need, but why would lack of need be a barrier? Here are our two invented Unitarian Universalist holidays. Illumination, spelled with, of course, the two capital U's, illumination, began in 1994 at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Little Rock, Arkansas, when a child in the congregation wanted to celebrate a special Unitarian Universalist day. not just days of other religions like Christmas. So the family began illumination and got the church involved. The Saturday and Sunday before Christmas were chosen as the time. The holiday design included the choice of colors to be purple and silver, and people are encouraged to wear chalice clothing and jewelry. If they have home chalices, they bring them to the feast and service. For illumination, there's a Saturday night potluck. Tables are set up in U shapes. If people have home chalices, they bring them to the feast and put them on their tables, and they're lit before the dinner while the group sings "Rise Up, O Flame," number 362 in the hymnal. For the Sunday service, people bring their chalices to place them on one table with the church's chalice. Kind of a blessing of home religious life for the year. You might remember a couple of years ago, I had a blessing of the chalices in the spring before some people go their own ways for the summer. I kind of moved an illumination aspect to a better time for us. My own thought is, it's nice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism and to make a home-to-church connection with the chalices, maybe especially during our health-conscious time of removal. There's also a different holiday started in 2005 by other Unitarian Universalists, Chalaka, which in one variation starts on the first Monday in December and continues through the following Sunday, and in another takes place the first 7 weeks of the new year. That's to have a day or a week devoted to each of the 7 principles. And if we add more principles, I expect the day or week count will just extend. Meditations on each of the principles seems more Lenten to me than celebratory in a party way. So maybe it gets some respect for not being a party time just as the holiday season is near its start. It's been suggested that I might have a sermon series on the principles, as we're at a time when our denomination is examining them with the possibility of revising the principles, and at the same time Unitarian Universalists are considering adding an 8th principle on anti-racism and other oppressions, with the aim of multicultural diversity. That series could come early in 2022, but the schedule isn't set. We do have events in Unitarian Universalist history to celebrate, people to honor, and even artifacts to give some attention to, like the chalice. I try to do a bit of that for us without special holiday wrappings, but we're welcome, all of us, to be festive. And now, yes, for invented holidays, what about Christmas? The birth of Jesus is biblical, yes, but is it true? If so, considering the story that the government feared that the local people over which they had ruled had just had a king born, and set out unsuccessfully to destroy that king by destroying all male children, the story includes that Jesus and family made it to Egypt, where they stayed until the danger passed. How is it that Jesus was unrecognized again until he was about 30 years old and began his public ministry? And consider stories of non-Christian traditions that contained similar elements of a God coming into being in this world with special births. And holidays from other faiths, like the Romans' Saturnalia and the pagans' winter solstice. It's almost as if Christmas might have been appropriated to strengthen the new religion and fold other ones into the celebration, isn't it? But Christianity became one of the world's great religions. the religion to which our Unitarian Universalism has its tie, as we were solely Christian before opening our religious views to world religions and the individual spiritual journey. So here we are, with a few invented holidays. Some see truth in them, others devotion, and there are the joyful celebrations with little real connection other than tradition. That's all valid. I don't want to celebrate Chalaka or Illumination for the purpose of our having a Unitarian Universalist slot in holiday season. And I don't think we need a holiday of our own. We can honor our solely Christian past. Remember that we have members who remain devout Christians, and there are friends and neighbors as well as Toledo Unitarians. And we can still be part of Christmas, giving gifts, having feasts, and maybe even coming to the Christmas Eve service here at 5 p.m. on December 24th. Have happy holidays, whichever you take part in, real or invented, sacred and secular. It's time for some joy. So be it.
Thank you. We already talked a little bit about the offering when I mentioned the basket out front. I will now place this one at the front table. The basket in the foyer is on the welcome table there. And remember that even though you do give sometimes online, it's customary to give on Sundays. It actually helps to open your heart to take that motion of giving when you're here on Sunday. So we thank you for that. The church needs the money. We survive with salaries, programs, our building, everything because of this wonderful congregation that all gives on Sundays. We thank you for that.
Now for coming soon. Next Sunday at 9:45 a.m. on Zoom, our Spiritual Affairs Forum will present Amy Kent to interest us in the Central East Region Winter Institute, which will take place February 18 through 21st at Salt Fork State Park in Cambridge, Ohio. And registration is open now. Our Spiritual Affairs Forum is still done on Zoom. If you want to come here early, find a quiet room, fire up your tablet or smartphone, and catch it there before the service. Because it's 9:45 a.m., it should end at 10:45. So those of you with a 15-minute driving time, it's your turn. Then our 11 a.m. service here and on our Toledo Unitarians YouTube channel will be our annual seasonal all music service. And as you heard in the announcements, it's really special this year with 2 symphony musicians, a harpist and a violinist, giving a full concert for our 11 a.m. service. Please do join us for that. And now the invitation.
Okay, directly after service, we invite people to linger and socialize with one another at a distance, of course. Just down the hall in Fellowship Hall, there will be coffee. And of course, we have our masks off for eating and drinking. So if you feel like socializing in a masked way, we invite people to remain in the sanctuary and just visit with each other here. But either way, we are glad to see you and hopefully that you will connect with each other. For future, I know that I see people pretty socially distanced in here. It's been asked that when you sit with your family bubble, of course, that's wonderful, but we ask people to space out through the congregation next Sunday when you come in person. Looks like people have done so. We thank you for that. The closing words today are by Kate McKerna. It's called Unitarians and UUs at Christmas. They say a story can carry a truth far greater than literal truth. We Unitarian Universalists know the value of stories. We know that they can carry truth. We know they carry more truth than just the plain truth ever can. Maybe we can't believe a virgin gave birth to the Son of God, but we can believe that all births are miracles, worthy of celebration and wonder. Maybe we can't believe angels brought revelations, but we can believe truth can be revealed through the actions of words of those who dare to speak it and act it. Maybe we can't believe that the angels sang to shepherds, but we can believe that those revelations about life can come to and through even those that we think are the most humble. Maybe we can't believe that wise men traveled to see the newborn baby king, but we can believe that we should never be too lofty to think ourselves too clever or too rich to see the wonder and majesty in tiny things. Maybe we can't believe that Jesus brought back the light by redeeming our sins, but we can believe in a leader and a teacher and a prophet who brought and still brings illumination to the lives of those who wish to listen. We can believe in the light. Always we can believe in the light. Maybe we can't believe the Christmas story, but we can believe in it as a story which points to the truth greater than we can possibly imagine. And so, here we are, Unitarian Universalists at Christmas, celebrating, and long may we do it.
Today we send the flame into the holiday atmosphere with Christmas and human light and Festivus and Chalaka and illumination, and especially today, at sunset begins the final day of Hanukkah. May there be great celebrations together, and may the light warm humanity.
Thank you.